What's up, friends? It's Firecore, and welcome to a new spot. For one, I found a better angle. We got the window, got some flags and different angle. But today I'm gonna be talking about my my anime journey. Now that's kind of a weird thing to say, but I really want to talk about this because I haven't really done too much anime content, even though it's a pretty big part of my recreational life. So I just pulled up my anime list account, which I've been adding to for about 3 years, but I have other accounts and stuff. I've made a few videos on anime, but this one's going to be kind of the baseline, the beginning of everything. So I've watched about 152 that I've cataloged. Of course, you can go into the description of this video and all my videos and find my Twitter, which do not look at who I follow, bunch of weird people. And then you can find my anime list account. So if you want to see my trash taste and see what kind of awful scores I gave to some animes that you might like, you can, but don't hate me for it. It's just my opinion. But we're going to be starting back from the beginning and giving you the whole breakdown of how I started watching anime, where it went, and how it's going, pretty much. I'm not going to put like timestamps and stuff because I don't want to do that. I will probably move to the side a little bit so I can have like pictures and stuff. Yeah, that'll help. That will help. Anyways, let's just get started. So this starts back inside of like August of 2017, roughly. A good way to think about it is it's around when Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid dub was around like the halfway point. I started watching anime. So yes, my first anime was technically not Miss Kobayashi, but when I first understood what an anime was, I watched that. Because I watched Spirited Away and Ponyo and the Ghibli films before that, but in all honesty, I really don't count those. So the first anime where I was like, I am watching an anime was Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, the dub, and I watched that on my little tablet, and that kind of started everything for me. I remember when I first watched it, I was a little too into it. Not only I kind of had this thing when I was younger where if I liked something, I kind of just continuously did it over and over again until either it got old or until I finally branched out. And Miss Kobayashi was the exact same thing. I watched that 2 times all the way through, and I was going on for my 3rd watch through. I don't know why. I didn't really know what anime was. I just thought it was a good story. So yeah, some nice person online uploaded it and I watched it from there. So my first anime was a YouTube kind of like bootleg version with just the dub, and it was pretty fun. I enjoyed it. And then it kind of took me down a rabbit hole of watching anime on my tablet, which is kind of the branch point from everything, because if I didn't watch Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, nothing else would have happened. Well, actually, I take that back. If I never watched Spirited Away and Ponyo, that was kind of the big branch, but Miss Kobayashi was the beginning. And for any of you who have went over to my anime list account, I'm just gonna start referring to it as Mal, since I think my anime is a little hard to say. But I have given Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid the 2nd season a 9 out of 10, which I think is an okay score to give it. I really liked it, but it's more because watching the 2nd season of Miss Kobayashi around 4 months ago, whenever it came out, it was a blast in the past, because I didn't really get much Miss Kobayashi since 2017, and very glad that I was able to experience my roots. But let's continue from where we left off. So after that started the worst portion of my anime career. If you looked at what I watched around this time, you would be horrified of what this... Was I like 14 or 13? I was around that age when I started watching the ecchi, like borderline shmentai shit that I just found on my tablet. So yeah, after I started building up a catalog of Miss Kobayashi, I started getting recommended other animes. And I was watching anime YouTube at this time, like Lost Paws and The Anime Man and that kind of stuff, because of Miss Kobayashi. And that put me on a bunch of weird anime. So let me run through some of them that I can find on my computer. Alright, so I got a couple right here. I'm not going to go through all of them because I watch an insane amount, and there's one that I really have to get in depth on. But a few examples are Mock and Key, I gave that like a 4 out of 10. Infinite Stratos, 4 out of 10. Cat Planet Cuties, 4 out of 10. Kiss Excess, just stuff that's like deplorable. And then I got recommended Elfen Lied, which that was a whole different thing that traumatized me. But as you can see by just those, I kept watching the dubs of these animes, and I hate to say it, the more I watched, the more and more I kind of got into anime. So though I do not like that style of anime anymore, I appreciate little me for being horny, because at least now I can watch more mature films. So after I watched all those kind of tame, ecchi animes, well, I'm not going to say they're tame, but tame compared to what I'm going to talk about next. I've said this a million times. High School DxD was kind of the big branch for like a series anime, because I never really watched a series of something, kind of like multiple seasons, I should say, because most of the time I just got recommended something like Infinite Stratos. I watched it. I hate to say it, but I kind of just skipped through most of it for obvious reasons. But High School DxD was the first anime that I watched multiple seasons of, and I must have liked it because I watched it multiple times over, which I'm not even going to get into why.
Yeah, look at me jiggle around my big titties.
But we're just going to ignore that and move on to another part, since that's a very deplorable part of my anime history. So let's move on to something a little bit more tame. Oh, actually, before I move on to what happened after the ecchi anime tablet lifestyle, I should probably talk about my actual roots, because I totally forgot. Before I even started watching Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, I was watching Pokemon and Beyblade, where Beyblade was technically my original, is it shonen? I don't really know. It's one of the first anime, well, it definitely was the first anime I ever watched. Back when I was like 6 or 7 or something, it came on the TV, and I always thought it was cool. So that's why Beyblade Metal Fight is a big part of my history. Beyblade Burst sucks ass. Metal Fight is the best one. Yeah, nothing much to say there. Pokemon and Beyblade, I watched those kind of like on the side, but I don't really consider those the same thing, since I like those because the toys and the games instead of the actual story behind them. Alright, this is not really a big part that I want to talk about, but this is the transition to watching anime on my TV, in like watching movies, into watching things on my tablet, and then where I went next, and then we'll talk to the big kahuna where, that's where I am now. And the thing that happened before where I am now is the introduction, or the movement into Netflix anime. So I didn't really use much Netflix stuff. When I first had Netflix, my parents got the little, the discs. If you're kind of oldish like me, you know that Netflix used to not be streaming. You used to get a little DVD, and then you used to get it. So I got some Ghibli films along with that. But when I started moving over to the streaming site and I saw their anime section, I watched quite a bit of stuff that, kind of just set me off on my journey. So a really good example of some of the stuff I watched was SAO, of course. I can say that young me did cry at SAO.
So beautiful.
I'll take that to the bank with me. What else? Some random anime movies, and also it was the way that my good friend Duns was able to watch what used to be one of his favorites, Full Metal Alchemist, which I still haven't watched yet. I'm going to. So yeah, there's not that much inside of that, but because I continued watching less ecchi stuff and more trying to move over to cool stuff, I started seeing that there was a lot more anime than just booba stuff. But of course, this did not take me away from the booba stuff, because the thing that moved me over past my watching it on my tablet to watching it on the TV to moving over to the next phase, which is streaming sites, was a booba anime, and that is going to be To Love Ru. So the whole reason I got started is because I'm pretty sure I saw a video online of people talking about To Love Ru, and I started looking on my computer on how to find it, and of course, little me couldn't go like To Love Ru episode 1. No, he had to go To Love Ru episode 1, full, uncensored. and that set me on one of my first subbed animes, because I wasn't really much of a subber. I always went for the dub because it was easier to have that kind of stuff. But To Love Ru, since I was interested in the other stuff, I bit the bullet and I read the subs. And that's pretty much what put me on my anime streaming site, everything. That started off on Anime Planet, where I watched To Love Ru, and then it pushed me all the way to Crunchyroll, and then I found things that are better than Crunchyroll, of course. And that's where we are now. That section took the biggest chunk of time, the streaming site, because I just watched everything I could get my hands on. But since we just talked about the journey, I feel like it's necessary to talk about some of the sub phases that I still have inside of this one, because, you know, it's kind of difficult for me to go inside of To Love Ru and then move on to what I like watching now, which is a lot different. And that's not just because I've aged and I feel that is less interesting to watch than when I was 14. It also is just the stuff that I exposed myself to, which kind of set me on a different path. So the easiest way to start this whole explanation is with ads.
If you like Pornhub, you'll love Pornhub Live.
So when I was watching To Love Ru on Anime Planet, it was a streaming site that got their money from ads and stuff like that. So I got some Crunchyroll ads, which a few of them were for My Hero Academia, which, as much as you want to bash on My Hero Academia, I can bash on it too. I'm not really the biggest fan of it, but that was the thing that set me on my workout adventure. Yeah, anime made me work out. Which I'm still doing that now. Maybe I'll make a separate video on how working out has changed my life, because anime, like, fun, but working out, necessary and life-changing. But I got a bunch of ads for My Hero Academia Season 3, and then I started watching My Hero Academia, and that set me down the shonen route, where I watched, everything inside the book, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, My Hero Academia. So let me look around for some more shit. One Punch Man, ReZero, One Punch Man, ReZero, Mob Psycho, Promised Neverland, Attack on Titan, the whole caboose. I kind of just watch all those because of shonen. So thank you, shonen, for setting me down, give me a slap on the hand and telling me to stop watching all that titty shit. No, I'm not telling you that you can't watch that titty shit, because right now I'm actually watching some stuff to kind of quench my 14-year-old lust, because I haven't been watching that in a while, and I decided that I want to experience my 14-year-old self again. So I'm watching all those, and maybe I'll make some videos on exactly what it's like to revisit those types of shows now that you're not staring at it with your jaw on the floor, and more trying to understand the story and trying to enjoy it from a level higher than look at the titties. All right, now we're gonna get into current time. Now, this only started about 2 years ago or something like that, because, okay, so let me give you like an example. I was watching My Hero Academia, everything shonen. Also Gurren Lagann, I probably should have mentioned that one. I actually watched that one on Netflix. Hype fest animes, ones that get your skin tingling, your blood pumping, because, they're cool, they're hype. But as I went on, I started experimenting with some other stuff, some slice of life every once in a while, some comedy stuff. And I don't know how exactly I got there, but I started watching the Certain series, or the Certain Magical Index, Certain Magical Railgun, Scientific Railgun thing, which, what's funny is I actually tried to watch this anime back when I was still on tablet life, when I was watching titty animes and stuff. And I didn't really like it that much because, of course, it wasn't a titty anime. But I revisited it and I was like, hey, I tried to watch this like 3 years ago, or however long ago that was. And that set me off on a weird wild goose chase where I watched almost every single thing inside of the Certain series. It became an icon on my channel. My profile picture is still the frog, from that series. I watched every single thing from it. I loved all the characters. It became my favorite anime, and that stayed around for a while. You can actually see that progression during my channel, since that's around how long it's been since then. When I was watching that, my channel was also just starting. And if you haven't watched the certain series, you know that it's kind of, I don't want to say it's weird, but it doesn't really explain things too well for me, which I hate to say it, I really liked that fact that you didn't understand everything and you had to do a little bit of research. But now that I've distanced myself from it, I don't really like that way of storytelling anymore. Well, that particular way of storytelling. So instead of trying to go really in depth on it, let me try to explain what I just said a little bit better. So inside of a certain series, there's a bunch of like branches and characters and clubs and groups and splits of science and magic and garbage like that. It's really hard to understand, and when I was first trying to watch the anime, I didn't really understand it too well. So I had to go on wikis and websites to try to understand that better. And although it was fun when I understood some stuff, like, oh boy, I know why that happened, I didn't really care that much looking back on it. But that kind of deep thinking about a story was something that I liked a lot, which kind of set me on where I am right now inside of the psychological, the story doesn't tell you everything kind of stories that I'm watching right now. And some really good examples of what I watched after I kind of got, I don't want to say I got over the certain scientific series or the certain magical series. I want to say when I exhausted all the resources, literally everything, I even read ahead inside the manga, I drained myself. I don't want to even think about that series anymore. Not my cup of tea. I moved on to a series which I wanted to watch because I heard good things about it, specifically because the anime man said that he really liked it, so I decided to try it out. And if you've watched the anime man, you know that that is the Monogatari series. Now, that boosted its way all the way up to number 1, which maybe I'll make a video why. It's kind of hard to explain the series. It's better to just watch it and take your own from it. If you want to, I'm not forcing you. The Monogatari series, you have to want to watch it. This isn't something that you just tell your buddies like, yo, watch this. It's something that they have to choose to watch, or else it's not going to be enjoyable. And I chose to watch this, and that's why it was enjoyable for me. And I watched the Monogatari series around last year. I remember it was like 2020 December or something like that when I first started watching Bakemonogatari, the first season of it. I watched the whole thing, and I liked it so much that one of the characters' hats is on the frog inside my profile picture, so that's the inspiration to my profile picture. And during that, about a year ago, throughout that year-long span of then to now, we got a lot of stuff that I watched on my anime list, which took less of the shonen and more of the psychological stuff. It's kind of hard to explain. Let me give you some examples. So, of course, the Monogatari series, I watched Neon Genesis, and then I also watched Serial Experiment Lane. All of those, 10 out of 10s personally, and that's not just because I'm a snob. I just really liked them.
You absolute buffoon. What do you mean you did not like Neon Genesis, Agents of Evangelion? Its story is simple, but the true glory of the series is beyond the story and the lens of the psychological horror that those teenagers go through. You call Shinji a bitch. Have you ever thought of what you would be like inside of that position, you Neanderthal?
Maybe I'll make a video inside the future about why. But yeah, that's where I am now. At the moment, 152 animes, watching some stuff at the moment. Attack on Titan, it's coming out. I'm gonna wait for more stuff to come out. I'd like to make more anime videos inside the future, but that is from the start of watching Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid and technically all the way back watching Beyblade to now where, what's the most recent thing? 1 second. All right, now I'm not gonna tell you what site I'm on right now because I don't want anyone going there, because the more people are there, the higher chance the site gets shut down. But it's a streaming site for anime that isn't Crunchyroll. I think I'm winking the wrong. Yeah, I'm winking the wrong eye. But I'm going to show you the watch list that I have on this account, since I feel that's a pretty good... actually, never mind. A lot of this stuff sucks ass, but I'll go through it from the new shit. So what's the shit I'm watching right now? Actually, I'm just going to start from top to bottom, since I think that's actually going to be a really interesting thing, because I haven't really looked at these, but let's look at them. At the top, we have the 3rd season of A Certain Scientific Railgun, the T season. Now, although that did, I was really looking forward to that series, I really didn't care because I read ahead inside the manga, so I have 5 episodes left inside of it, and I just don't give a shit. We got the Dragon Ball original dub, which I watched 31 episodes of. Not my cup of tea. I think I'm going to watch Dragon Ball Z instead of the original Dragon Ball because it's kind of campy and kind of old. We got The Great Pretender, which I heard good things about that. Watched 5 episodes of that. Jujutsu Kaisen, I only watched 15. I'm sorry, I know everyone likes Jujutsu Kaisen. Wasn't my cup of tea. But I kind of branched off from it. It wasn't that I didn't want to continue it. It was more of something else came up which I liked more than it, which, forgive me. My Dress Up Darling, yeah, started checking that out. Heard good things about it, checking that out. Naruto, I'm not going to say Naruto's bad. The original season of Naruto is pretty good. I'm 100 episodes in, well actually 97 episodes in, but... you know, just like Jujutsu Kaisen, it was good, but another thing came up, and also it is 220 episodes long, and I'm surprised I dedicated 97 episodes to watching that. That's a big commitment, so thank me for that. I watched 97 episodes of the original Naruto. It was alright. It was good. Alright, good. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm just gonna make everyone angry today. So next we got One Piece. Also, for the record, these are like a year and a half. So these are very recent things that I have been watching. And a few of them are kind of wonky. Yeah, we got One Piece. I only watched like 20 episodes of One Piece. I'm sorry. It's really long, and I really didn't care. I'm going to continue watching it when I get a break in my life, about like a 5-year break. And then I'll be sure to watch all 1,000 episodes. I know it gets good after like episode 423. That's the good episode. Then we got some ecchi shit. The Fate series. I did watch the Fate series. Actually, just go inside my anime list if you really wanna roast me. I wanna debate some stuff. Actually, please. I'm not good at debating anime. And then we have a few slice of life things, which this is actually kind of interesting. So I did the whole ecchi thing, right? And I grew past that. I did the whole shonen thing. I'm not growing past that since I still like the hypeness. It's just I don't seek them out as much as before. And the whole slice of life thing, what's funny is whenever I try to watch a slice of life show, especially one that's like slice of life gimmick, which is my least favorite type of slice of life. Like, for example, I tried to watch Squid Girl. I watched 7 episodes of it. It was the same gimmick. It was a normal slice of life, but she's a squid. It's just a gimmick, not my cup of tea. And then non-biori, which is just slice of life, but they're country characters. Oh boy. And that's pretty much it, except the ecchi anime that I am actually watching right now. I'm 7 episodes out of 12. I'm trying to break through it, and then maybe I'll make a video talking about it because it is not fun to watch. I can accept if you watch that when you're 14, but at my age, at my maturity, it's something that is too beneath me. Also, I know I didn't really acknowledge this thing, but yeah, this is my harmonica. Get the fuck up. I don't know how to play the harmonica, but I thought it'd be a funny gimmick. Yeah, just like this video, a little funny. Hope you guys had a funny time, and I will see you next funny time. But in all seriousness, if any of you want some more anime content, actually, I don't give a shit what you want. I'm gonna keep making anime content if I want to. Still doing college right now. Still going. I'm planning on making more stuff that I want to make, along with the random high production, which I think I do have a high production video in the works. In my brain. Doesn't mean it's in the works. It means it's in my brain. But I'm going to work on that, so keep on the lookout for that. And speaking of keep on the lookout, I should probably do my outro. let's do with this. I think this is going to add something to it. Maybe I could talk through this. Without being said, guys, hope you enjoyed and keep on the lookout for my videos.